What's up, guys? James Carter TV here for yet another one of my 2016 NFL Draft Scouting Reports. And today we are looking at Michael Thomas out of Ohio State. And it looks like I like another prospect, another wide receiver prospect. For those of you that have followed me thus far, I really like Laquan Treadwell. I really did not like Corey Coleman. And I like Josh Doctson. And now Michael Thomas might be my second favorite wide receiver in this draft class, although it is really close between him and Josh Doctson. But I will get into all of that in this video as I give you my strengths and weaknesses for this prospect, as well as a pro comparison, his best fit, and my overall prospect grade. And all of this information can be found in the description box below. Let's begin. So, let's start with his strengths. We first have his incredible route running for the college level. I mean, at the NFL level, he'll come in and he'll be a good route runner, but he won't be like, one of the best route runners in the NFL, like an Antonio Brown, like a Des Bryant, or something like that. But already a good route runner by NFL standards. I mean, this guy makes moves, stutter steps, coming in and out of his breaks, making swift moves, switching his hips, flipping his hips, switching sides, changing directions when running his routes. Is so smooth, so eloquent, so elegant in the way he just shifts and moves in and out of his breaks. A stutter step that against Virginia Tech. I'm sure you've seen the highlight. If you haven't, I noted it in the discussion box for you to watch. A brilliant stutter step on Kendall Fuller, the cornerback for Virginia Tech, who will be drafted in the second round, third round at worst. So we're talking about a guy that NFL teams view as a potential starting corner, absolutely burned by Michael Thomas by an absolute just killer stutter step on a go route. And you see these types of things, even though his route tree is very limited. I'm going to get into that later as part of his weaknesses. With the routes that he runs them well. And you see him get open consistently with these slight things that he knows how to do when it comes to running routes. They've really taught him well at Ohio State. Next, he has really good hands. And I mean really, really good hands. Now, this is kind of... I talked about Josh Doctson and how he had a drop rate of 6%. Michael Thomas has a drop rate of 3%. However, I would argue that Josh Doctson actually has better hands than Michael Thomas. But with that said, Michael Thomas has really, really, really good hands. I mean, again, he had 5 drops combined in 2014 and 15 college seasons. That is really, really, really good. Now, when you look at versus Josh Doctson, Michael Thomas didn't have too many balls thrown his way. Josh Doctson made a spectacular catches. He has to work harder for a lot of the balls that he gets. While Michael Thomas, his deal is that for whatever reasons, J.T. Barrett and Cardale Jones, who were the quarterbacks at Ohio State, they never allowed Michael Thomas to showcase his athletic ability when it comes to catching passes over his head. Rarely do you see many passes over his head. A lot of times, balls are underthrown. And it doesn't make much sense because we're talking about Cardale Jones, who has a very strong arm. We're talking about J.T. Barrett, who has an okay arm. So it doesn't make sense why this wasn't showcased enough. But regardless, you do see really good hands from Michael Thomas, and he makes a lot of his game within 25 yards, and within these routes you see absolutely tremendous hands. Now, when cornerbacks are pressed up against him, when balls are contested, he doesn't come down with many of those, so they don't count as drops. Like a Josh Doctson, who would come down with a lot of those. But when it comes to he's open, the ball hits his hands, it's going to be caught. I mean, that's just the deal there. And that's something that you have to like, knowing that, first of all, you can run really good routes, knowing that, okay, you have really good hands too. Okay, we're talking about a good prospect here, and we're only on the second strength. The third strength, his size, 6'3", 210 pounds, and he could be 6'4", because I saw him listed at 6'4" somewhere. I'm not sure if I believe that, but we'll see what the combine says when he goes and measures an official measurement at the combine. But anyway, 6'3", 210 pounds, and he has a good frame. There are some 210-pound wide receivers that don't have as good of a frame as him, like let's say Jordan Matthews of the Philadelphia Eagles. He's 213 pounds, but he's not as big as Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is carrying a bit of weight on him. I mean, he already has pretty much a perfect NFL physique. I mean, you can always go to the NFL and maybe put on a couple more pounds, but Michael Thomas is pretty much NFL ready body right now in terms of the height, which you obviously cannot change, but in terms of the muscle definition, he already has plenty of that. And the problem, though, and I'll get into this in the weakness, though, he doesn't use his size enough, but the size is there, and that's nice to know. And my final strength, but again, this is a big one, he has a nice athleticism. I mean, this is a guy that I think is going to go to the combine and run anywhere from maybe a 4.46 to a 4.54. Anywhere within that range, and for his size, that's really good. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's 6'3", able to run that fast. Yeah, that's really good. And I'll be interested to see what number he does put up, but you're able to see a nice burst off the line of scrimmage. I mean, I think it could be better, but an adequate burst off the line of scrimmage. But I think what he really does a good job at is accelerating. I mean, he accelerates pretty quick. So when he's doing that stutter step, boom, and then he accelerates, he's gone. I mean, the cornerbacks have a hard time matching that type of acceleration, and that's really where his athleticism comes into play. Vertical leap, I didn't see too much of it, again, because for whatever reason, Cardale Jones and JT Barrett did not throw many passes high for him. So I'll be interested to see what his vertical leap is compared to his peers. But I do believe it is more than adequate as well. So that would be nice to see as well. So nice athleticism here for Michael Thomas. These are all good strengths. I mean, when we're talking about a wide receiving prospect, you're telling me I'm getting a good route runner. He has good hands. He has really good size and good athleticism. Those are really good strengths. And that's why I really like the upside here for Michael Thomas. But let's get into the weaknesses as well, because they are present. All right, so number one, he has a poor feel for the game. Poor may be too much of a strong word, but it's definitely not good at this point. This was especially showcased against Virginia Tech. Sometimes he doesn't know what he's doing on certain plays, especially run plays. He just kind of gets in the way. He bumped into JT Barrett, or maybe it's Cardale Jones, I'm not really sure, causing him to fumble the football. There was another play where he just had poor positioning on the play and got in the way again on a run play. After he runs his route, he just kind of stops, just kind of sits there, doesn't work his way back to the quarterback or try to work back or trying to make a play out of a broken play. Doesn't do too much of that. He needs to develop a better feel for the game. Now, this can come with more time spent in the NFL, more years, more experience, but I compare him, to Josh Doctson again, not that they're similar, but in saying who's better, well, Josh Doctson has a very good feel for the game, and he bailed out Trevon Boykin on plenty of broken plays. Michael Thomas, not even close to Josh Doctson or Laquan Treadwell in that area, needs to develop his feel for the game and his awareness when plays break down, and plays will break down at the NFL level. Next, I didn't see any spectacular catches. Again, I'm going to bring up Laquan Treadwell and bring up Josh Doctson because we're trying to figure out who's the best wide receiver in this class, right? These guys, Laquan Treadwell and Josh Doctson, they make incredible catches. Michael Thomas, I didn't see any. Now, again, I don't think Cardale Jones or JT Barrett allowed him to have the opportunity to come up with a lot of this. Michael Thomas only had 700 yards, 800 yards receiving this season and the year past. So it's not like he had a lot of chances to do this, but I didn't see it. I saw some nice catches. Again, he has good hands, but I didn't see anything incredible that shouts, wow, this guy could be a potential great Pro Bowl wide receiver. And when we're talking about, okay, first round wide receiver, are you going to be able to be that Pro Bowl elite wide receiver? You got to make some great catches. Everybody makes great catches if you're a Pro Bowl wide receiver. I mean, look at the Pro Bowl this year, even if they didn't play. Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Odell Beckham Jr., who's the talk of the town in the NFL. These guys make great catches. I never see this from Michael Thomas. Again, this isn't bad. It's not like I'm saying, okay, you're going to be a bust because you don't make any spectacular catches. But now, because of all these strengths, I'm now holding you to a high standard. Can you now meet this standard? And he doesn't do it when it comes to the spectacular catch category. He has a limited route tree. Ohio State and their weird offense, he doesn't run many routes. This was the same thing with Corey Coleman, the same thing with Josh Doctson. But the good thing to know is, as opposed to those guys, the routes that he runs them well. So although he may only run 4 routes right now for the most part, he runs them well. Just allow him to develop the other 5 routes, and then you'll have something really nice in Michael Thomas. And then next, despite his size, he really doesn't play that big. I didn't see many end zone fades. I didn't see any jump ball type plays. I didn't see him particularly boxing out very well. He has great size. I mean, 6'3", 210 pounds. But he doesn't play that big. I mean, you see a lot of these tall, wide receivers like Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones. They play really big. You know that they're playing their height. And you're able to throw to them in these red zone areas, or throw jump balls up to them, Hail Marys, what have you. He doesn't play that big. So I want to see him have more of a tough mentality to play big, man. Use your size, man. Use your size to your advantage. Box out some of these cornerbacks and catch some of these high balls that, again, for whatever reason, Cardale Jones and JT Barrett just did not give to him. So, I like this guy. And I really, really think that there could be something special here. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if 4 years down the road we're talking about a Pro Bowl wide receiver, Michael Thomas. Now, I'm not going to put him in that category yet. First, let me give you my pro comparison. I compare him, and this I think is a perfect comparison, a hybrid between these two. Eric Decker and Jordan Matthews. These are two guys that, are they number 1 wide receivers? Sure. Can they get you 1,000 yards? Yeah. Are they guys that are absolutely like burning speed? They're just going to run away from you? They could, but that's not their strength. They have good hands. They're able to run great routes. They're able to use their size, although they don't use it all the time, but they have nice size to them as well. They have okay athleticism. I think those are two great comparisons here in terms of production and in terms of play style. Now, a lot of teams could use that guy. I have him fitting well with the Minnesota Vikings, with the Seattle Seahawks. Oh, I think he'd be so good with Russell Wilson. Oh my God, I think it would be so good. Carolina Panthers, I think it'd be really good with Cam Newton. San Diego Chargers and San Francisco 49ers, I think these are all great fits for Michael Thomas. I did not put the Tennessee Titans on this list because I think he's similar to Dorial Green-Beckham, and I think that would just be a little bit of a situation there, a bad duo to have in terms of they really play similar. I was almost going to compare him to Dorial Green-Beckham, but Dorial Green-Beckham uses his side. Dorial Green-Beckham is faster than Michael Thomas, I believe. So I couldn't really go there, but there are some similarities there. And Michael Thomas is a better route runner. But I didn't like that fit there. Cleveland, I didn't like that fit with him and Josh Gordon. But with these teams, I like that fit. And I think he could really develop into a number 1 wide receiver. Now, I also left off one weakness, and this is something that I left it off because I'm not sure how much to pay attention to it, but it is a slight concern. He played his true freshman season and then sat his true sophomore season. He redshirted his sophomore season. And because apparently he was having troubles learning the playbook, according to one report, according to another report, there were some academic issues. So there's a little bit of an underlying issue. Now, that was 3 years ago, so that could be gone. It could be, not even an issue anymore, but it's a slight concern. And if it pops up again, he won't be able to have a very successful rookie season. And hopefully that won't turn into a snowball effect, and then before you know it, he's a bust. But I want to trust this guy. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to see what the interviews and combine and all that stuff comes out. And then I'll really be able to get a good grade on him. But for right now, I have him as an 83. And this is an above average starter at the position. This is a good player at the position. If he comes to the combine, he shows a really good leaping ability. He's really good in the drills. He's really good in the interviews. I might push him up to that Pro Bowl talent. And I think we're really talking about an underrated talent here. I've heard some people say, like Vikings fans, oh, I don't want this. You want this guy. You want this guy. Right now you have Stephon Diggs, who's fine. But if you could juxtapose him with Michael Thomas, you guys would be up to something in Minnesota. I really like Michael Thomas. All right, guys. That's the end of this Michael Thomas scouting report. Tell me what you think down in the comment section below. And until next time, James Carter TV, I'm out. Peace.